Okay, I thought I'd just go over the Honda Blackbird air filter, and I'm going to change spark plugs as well today. Just a couple of things before we get started. I'm choosing high flow air filter, and I'm choosing Iridium NGK spark plugs. They're the ones you want. Mine's a fuel injected 1999 model. I'm going with these. Okay, let's back to the bike, show you what I'm doing. Obviously, have your fuel tank at least half empty, because we're going to tip this up, and if it's full, it will leak out of the overflow and start leaking onto the bike underneath. What I've done is I've taped these up out of the way, because you've got a little lug there that when you pull the tank back, you don't want it to clip back in. So I've just put a bit of electrical tape on both sides, just to pull that out of the way. First things first then, so you need a 12mm socket to undo these. Okay, once you've undone them, so you want to take the bolt out, then you want to take the collar out as well, but leave the rubbers in. And what we're going to do is, next shot you'll see, I'm going to lift the tank at the back a bit, then I'm going to slide the tank back so it comes off its rubber bung at the front. I'll show you that when the tank's up. Then I'm going to put the tank back down so the rubber bung is underneath the bar at the front. And then I'm going to put these bolts back in loosely, but obviously don't tighten them right down. And then we're going to hinge the tank up and prop it up. I'll show you it next video. Okay, so here's the tank propped up. You notice at the front, this is what the tank, when you try to lift it, this is what won't let you lift it straight up. It hooks underneath. When you push that forward, it hooks underneath a bar. It's just under this hammer that I've got it propped up with. But doing it this way, you don't have to disconnect any fuel lines. You've easily got enough room to tilt the tank up, and I can easily get to airbox. You know, undo the screws and get to the filter, but I'm going to remove it all to get to the plugs from top. Bear in mind, when you do it this way, be very, very careful you do not drop your tank. When you're sliding it back, put a cloth on your bike so you don't scratch all your subframe up with your tank. And that's what you do with the bolts, look. Screw them in, but not all the way down, and it's just going to make the tank a bit more stable. Now ideally you want to strap this to the roof if you've got a garage, so you've got a permanent fixing. It's crudely wedged with a hammer, but I have done this before, so I know that the tank, you know, I know where it's at. But it's up now and I can get to the service part, so I'll continue in. I'm going to remove top half of airbox now. A couple things you have to, from memory, you have to slide these out of here, so I might have to take the infill panels off now, which will be easy because tank's up. Alright, back in a bit. Alright, that's the airbox lid off then, so a bit tricky with these still in place. You've got to undo bolt here that drops this part out of the way, and there's another part other side as well. I think it's the ignition timing. These screws, make sure you get the correct fitting screwdriver, don't round them off. They are in, actually, on some cars they go into plastic, but they are actually into metal, so you know, plenty of WD-40, let them soak, nice and gentle, get them out. Air filter just comes off now. See, this one isn't too bad, but compared to the new one, you know, it is black in places. What else? Yeah, this lid on the airbox, there's one connection that you have to just disconnect, and then the airbox lid comes off. So that's the air filter. If I were just doing that, everything in reverse, and it's finished. But I'm going to take the airbox bottom off now to get to the spark plugs, hopefully from the top. Okay, I'll crack on with that. Okay, so first things first, we have to unscrew this from the intake manifolds. Okay, that's the bottom of the airbox off. Pretty straightforward really. The air ducts, this one and that one there, and that pipe, come off pretty easy actually. I just slid the airbox back and it pulled it off. The tricky bit is this, I found with this pipe here, which went on this corner. there. That took some getting off. I had to get a big screwdriver and just lever it off. But now you can see I can get access to the plugs. You know, so that's basically it. Everything's just in reversal. I've put a thin smear of grease around the O seals on the manifolds, and I put a thin film of grease on the rubbers up here. Red rubber grease I'm using. Safe on brake seals, so it'd be fine on this. Yeah, so I've put on there just to make it easier. While I'm here, I'm going to grease up cables, mechanisms. Job's done. This has helped you out. Everything's in reverse. Just be aware of that tank. If you've got it propped like I have, don't let it fall, or you have a crushed hand and a marked up tank. Okay, thanks for watching. Any questions, please ask. I'll try and help you out. Bye bye.